4 palm trees like we saw yesterday. The beauty of this morning's sunrise. And I'm not sure what's going to happen to the light now because the sun will be swallowed up with the cloud. We might see some very nice forms. And this goes very well with our readings today. The revelation of the children of God. We often speak about the revelation of God, right? But the revelation of the children of God. That's very interesting, isn't it? I wonder what's left for the last ones when all these have gone before them. I'm not sure which birds these are. Now look what's happened to the light. We are waiting for the revelation of the children of God. And we had something like that yesterday as well. And that was clear in my mind last night, but it's not clear right now. But this was the two lines that are the line that stuck out very clearly. And the fact is that the children of God are not, their glory isn't revealed yet. They look like normal people. Maybe there's a parallel to the way people saw Jesus. And there's a parallel to Mount Tabor. Because he was an ordinary one. They couldn't tell. He was the son of a carpenter. He was from Nazareth. He slipped between the crowd and they didn't notice him. They didn't recognize him. He was ordinary. Another one among the crowd. There was a guy called Max. He was another one among the crowd. There was a girl called Teresa, little girl in a family. There was another one called Frank. His family were rich traders. There was another one called Agnes. She was Roman. She was a teenager. There's another one called Carlo. He was also a teenager, almost 2,000 years later, 1,800 years later. And there's another one called Jose Luis. He was from Mexico. And what has happened for all of these? Well, in a way, their glory has been revealed. But our eyes can't see it yet, what it really means, what it really is. Because eye has not seen and ear has not heard what God has in store for those who love him. That's a great definition of a saint, isn't it? Those who love God. It's not the ones who are perfect, it's the ones who love God, who truly love him. And when a couple love each other, they mightn't be perfect. They might have some significant issues, but they truly love each other, so they make huge sacrifices for each other. The revelation of the children of God. Those not born of the flesh, of the will of person, but those born of the Spirit. The revelation of the children of God. Just imagine if we find, I'm not sure if I can find one right now, but probably, let me see here. I'm not sure how these are blossoming. It seems to be they're blossoming. Are they blossoming downwards or upwards? Well, either way, here you have something on the very top. There's no bud there, but maybe there are buds down below, or they're already used up. So maybe they're blossoming towards the top. We have a bee here visiting. And when you see the bud, you couldn't imagine that there's such a beautiful flower in it. Well, if you knew from the other flowers beside it, you can imagine what's in it. So you can imagine, but when you see it, it's so different than what's inside the bud. And we're waiting for the revelation that we used to use that word for pictures, for photographs, do you remember? And there was a little roll of film, and you took your pictures in your camera, and then you took the roll to the store, and somebody who knew how to do it developed the pictures. You revealed them. Now, we used to use that word to reveal the pictures as they were hidden. Look, there it is now. There's a flower that's, where is it? Come on, flower. My finger will help. There we are. So that's not, you see, that has a certain beauty the way it is, but now that's the way it's going to be in a moment, in a few minutes. It's going to open up completely. And there looks like another bud here. I'm not sure which flower that's going to be. Might be a different one. I'm not sure if it's the same as these ones. Maybe it's the same as these ones. So you can't tell that it will be that beautiful, you know. So with a feast of color and a feast of joy, the revelation of the children of God. I think we should think about that. Hey, look at our 2 Egyptian geese with a little family. Mama and Papa have hunted them into the water to get them away from this predator that's in the area. Although they're coming my way, so they haven't seen me as a predator. I shouldn't be so suspicious. So these are very protected, unlike the crows. I hadn't connected those dots before, but the crows abandon their young very, very quickly. And these are more than a week old now, or I'm not sure when we saw them the first time. They could be a week or 10 days old. And they're still being very, very protected and taken care of and helped by Mama and Papa Egyptian goose and gander. So you can't have Papa goose, you'd have Papa gander. Not propaganda, Papa gander and Mama goose. Yeah, lots of bees here today. So I'm thinking of working my way through here to get out to the close to the water so you can hear it. It's been very active. Yesterday the splashing of the waves continually hitting onto our little shore. It was very touching last night. In fact, when I was finished a telephone conference, I came down to do my prayer over there at the outdoor altar, and it was around 10 o'clock, and it was so beautiful just to be there in the sound of the water. Nothing else to be heard. Thanks be to God, no planes. The revelation of the children of God. So we have a very different set of readings today, because we're doing something the world really needs to do today. We're getting so much bad news. So much bad news about humanity. Horrendous deeds. Awful deeds. Butchery. Cain and Abel all over again. And we need to contemplate beauty of the human being. We need to have hope to also know our destiny. And that's why we have this festivity called All Saints. And the word hallow means to hallow, to hold sacred, to make holy. And in Halloween, which was last night, maybe it's still Halloween in California, it's only 8 o'clock in the evening. Oops, sorry. Or after 8 o'clock. And so it's still Halloween in California. And Halloween means the evening of the hallowed, of the saints. And they're a huge multitude. And they're from every tribe and nation. Huge multitude from every tribe and nation. And that was the word in the beginning to Abraham, I will raise up your descendants, and they will be more numerous than the sands on the shore. And these little shells, how many shells are just here in the next 10 yards from over to here? Try and count them. A multitude in glory. The children of glory, the children of God, their glory revealed. Some people have a little reticence to contemplate the holiness in human life. And holiness doesn't mean the total physical perfection. Holiness means the fidelity to the love of God. And that can be in a very broken person who returns to God and who receives the love of God and who is transformed by the love of God. Holiness is for everybody. It's a call for everybody. It's a universal call to holiness. Everybody. The holiness of Agnes, that teenager girl in the Roman Empire who resisted, and she died in such glorious martyrdom. The impact throughout the Roman Empire really is still felt today. And Francis, his family were wealthy traders, and he changed and accepted a life of poverty. And we still have the Franciscans right over there, even that little shed over there. Let me show you. That's for all the support of the archaeological site of the Franciscans. And that's because of that little guy, Francis, 800 and something years ago, in a beautiful part of Italy, born in Assisi. And then our friend Max from Poland, who was actually also a Franciscan in the school of St. Francis. And he lays down his life in a concentration camp. And when you hear the name Teresa, you have to clarify, is it the Teresa from Spain, or from France, or from Albania? So the one from Spain is in the 1500s, and she reforms the Carmelite order and has had probably the greatest mystic in Western Christianity, together with John of the Cross, in terms of profound insight into the mystery of God and the prayer life, union with God. There's hardly any teacher like her and John of the Cross. They were contemporaries and helped each other a lot, despite and because of a lot of resistance from their own communities. This is amazing. And we could go on and on and on. You think of who is your favorite one, the one you heard about. Then we have the Teresa of Albania, who spent her life and became known as Teresa of Calcutta, looking after the poorest of the poor. And then we have Tommy. And Tommy was also Italian. And he was incredibly gifted, incredibly intelligent, in a wealthy family with very easy access to the emperor. And he was kind of a little bit after Francis of Assisi, and he chose to join another young group called Dominicans. And he became one of the greatest theologians of Western Christianity alongside Augustine, who was a playboy, but whose life changed. And we didn't even talk about all the lads that grew up here around the lake. Pete and Andy and Jimmy and Johnny and Phil. And they were just fishermen. And the grace of God came into their lives, and they were totally transformed. And of course, here in Magdala, Miriam of Magdala, a woman with a lot of issues. People still argue what exactly they were, but she had no question about it. She had a ton of issues. And she became the first witness of Jesus risen from the dead. Everyone from every background, in every circumstance, can become a saint, is called to become a saint. That's our greatest glory. That's our revelation. And eye has not seen and ear has not heard what God has in store for those who love him. And the path to the sanctity is summarized as blessedness, and we call them the Beatitudes. And there's the Mount of Beatitudes, where we remember that great teaching, blessed are the pure of heart. And our world needs concrete examples of people like that, who don't indulge in all of the abuse of human reality, sexual reality, the pure of heart who are consecrated in their hearts to God. Blessed are the peacemakers. How much we need this today. In every kitchen, in every playground, and especially in the most cruel battlefields of our world today. Can I say something shocking? I hope there's no little children listening. But the other day it became conscious to us, and first of all it was disputed that it couldn't be true, but just in the one war between Russia and the Ukraine, over 500,000 soldiers have been killed. The majority of these are young men in the prime of life, ready to start working in their careers, and 500,000 of them are dead in a few years. Blessed are the peacemakers that keep a family together, that overcome the difficulties, that work reconciliation. Blessed are the humble. So many people are offended, are not respected in their dignity. They're trampled upon. And the humble have a path to holiness that's awesome. A path to glory. People, I think I went on too long. God bless you at this beautiful morning. We're waiting for the revelation of glory. And it's coming here, the light's coming out, but I think we'll keep that for Instagram. See you later, alligators. God bless you.